Hey, everybody, welcome to the Shooting Left of Center podcast with my guest. Gun websites, Never Enough Ammo is supposed to be here. Maybe he'll show up. You never know with him. He's living in a new state now, so we don't know if he's figured out the internets yet. And since he's not in Texas anymore, he might be having a problem with them not taking chickens for payment for his service. We will see. But otherwise, two of us are here, so we'll get started. Whatever questions you got for us, that's what we're here to do, is answer them. So I'm going to look here and see if we got anything coming in yet as far as topics. Now, always, I do like to, when I first start a chat, I like to read the names of people that have bought merchandise, because that supports the TYMP program, which is one of the more important programs that we run, especially nowadays when a lot of people can't afford most things. It's nice to be able to help some families every month obtain a firearm so they can defend themselves and their home and their family when they normally wouldn't be able to. And
how many months have you been doing that now?
Oh God, it's been years. Used to do it through, well, when I first started off, I just did it. I bought guns and sent them to people. And then I started doing it through Sporting Systems. And then they got, really busy, and I didn't want to have them keep doing it. So I started doing it through, because they're not set up as a online business. They're a brick and mortar store more than anything else. So then I switched to doing it through Grab a Gun. And now they've been doing it for a long time. We just sent out 6 guns just the other day. So we've been, God, I don't know how long we've been doing this though.
5 years.
It's been years. So
yeah.
We've given away a lot of guns.
I'm assuming you don't have a spreadsheet somewhere that has a list of them.
Oh God, no. I barely have lists of who won this month. I'm not the most, now, who was it used to handle it? It was Vincenzo Lamberto. He probably has some lists and stuff, because he used to have a spreadsheet he did. But then I got into some issues with one of the people that won, and I had to start doing it myself because of liability reasons. I don't want to put anyone else in legal jeopardy. But the people today who have bought merchandise that help support TYMP is Mark Fowler and Dalton Lamberth. So I want to say thank you to them. I don't think we have to welcome any new patrons or Subscribe Star members today. Nope. So we don't have to do that, or don't get to do that, I should say. Now let's see if we've got any questions coming in over here. Now I got to load my website up here. Hold on. All right. Activity, all transactions. We got a couple questions coming in over here. Let's see. Where are they? What's today? The 5th? No, today's the 6th, isn't it? Oh, well, then there's just 2 here. Tim Fast-Salami, he chimed in and said, I will use whatever part of the lane I want. No one cuts the corners on me. It's my lane, by God. Oh, he's pissing me off. Oh, yeah, that pisses me off. Because yesterday someone asked me what's the most aggravating thing other people do when they're driving that bothers me the most. And I almost said people who come to a complete stop to turn right. That really bothers me. But what bothers me more than anything is people that don't understand which line they should hold going through a curve. They don't know hold the inside line. You see people coming around curves, they're turning right where they should be holding the inside right line, but instead they're holding the outside line, which is the center line, which is your line going around going the other way. And that's how wrecks happen in curves. And that really irritates me, because that's dangerous. He just said he'll drive where he wants. So the hell with that. Mike D chimed in here and said, because Paul needs a hand, money for a new pew is not a problem, but the tax man and the utility company might not be happy. Well, yeah, we got other things we got to pay first, unfortunately. But I say buy the gun first, because if you have the gun, what are they going to do? Come get you. So, you got to consider that when you're making.
You don't need lights to use a gun. You don't need water to use a gun. Just saying.
Nope. They don't need that. Guns don't need to drink or be able to see. Jay Lugo chimed in, says, I use a lockbox in my cars, but how does one secure a gun on a motorcycle? Well, if it's on a motorcycle, it's going to be on your person. Now, I guess they do make locking boxes and stuff for bikes, for people to put stuff on that, they can keep with them. I've seen little safes that attach, like back, you mount it into like the roll bar or sissy bar or whatever, the grab bars in the back. It's just a little locking box. I used to have one on mine. Some of them are just plastic and they're meant to like put a helmet and some gloves and stuff in, but they have some that are just like a hardcore little metal box that goes on the side and meant to like put your wallet and keys and stuff in when you want to. And they're like really hard to get into. It'd be really difficult. Of course, they can just pick the bike up and take it. But I guess you could put one in those, but on a motorcycle, I'd say it's probably going to be on your person. Now, I'm not the only person that have an opinion on that, I guess. But
what are you going to leave it in a motorcycle? I guess if you get on a gun-free zone or something stupid like that.
I guess like if you rode your motorcycle to the post office or your kid's school or something, I guess then you would have to leave it somewhere or carry
a block before you get to the post office, wing it into the bushes, and then as you're leaving, swerve over and pick it up.
Come back and get it. Yeah, that sounds legit to me. Or or find like a playground and ask an honest looking citizen to hold on to it for you.
One of them vagrants, they usually don't go running around. They're just sitting on one spot asking for money. You just let them hold on to your guns, right?
Yeah, let them hold your gun for a while. Or find someone else, like a little old lady or something. Let's see here. I think that answers all of our questions. We don't got any questions coming in. I got an email here I want to show. This says, Kaylee being pregnant and cuddly. Oh, look at that little kitty. She don't look very pregnant. She don't look fat. But I'll share the picture here. This was sent in.
I don't see nothing.
By Jay Lugo. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah. That's fat animal.
Being pregnant and lady and cuddly. Oh, get your cat fixed so she don't keep having babies. I got another email here I want to share. And this person I just want to preface with is a total freaking dick. If I had my way, I'd find them and kick them in the taint because they are royally horrible. Attached is my brand spanking new Korth NXS 357 8-shot 6-inch pronounced Court. I'll pronounce it however I want to. We won the war. And it's already owned a CZP01, Cajun Gunworks, Glock 17 Gen 5. Best regards, Alexander. Got himself a new Court there, and I really want the 8-shot 357 Magnum, but it wasn't out yet when I bought my 44 Magnum, or I'd have bought it instead. So not only is this show that he's a terrible human being by getting a new gun when I don't got a new gun, but he got a new Korth that he knows I love when I don't have a new gun, and he got a model that I would love, and he had the audacity to do it when it's his did he say something about his first revolver ever? This is his first revolver ever.
That's a big revolver for a first revolver.
Yeah, it's like saying, oh,
what is that red thing going on behind the hammer?
That's the cylinder release.
Oh, okay. I was
pushing forward.
I was afraid you were going to say safety. No, I'm happy. No, so it's in the center in line, or it's over on the right?
It's to the left. I do believe it's to the left.
But I mean, it's on the back. Then it's not on this. It's on
as you're looking at it, like looking down the back, it's on the left hand side, so you can use your thumb to.
And then that's just like a ball that you're pushing on.
Well, it's like a cylinder on a lever.
Okay.
And you push it forward. Yep. That's one of their unique things they do, so that you don't have to maneuver your thumb over to the side to open the cylinder. You can just do it right there.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, it works. It's really nice. I'd like it. That's one thing I don't like about my Mongoose. My Mongoose doesn't have it there. It has a more traditional cylinder release, and I don't like that. Yeah, that kind of pisses me off. That's like saying, oh yeah, my first car when I was 16 was a Ferrari. Yeah, this is too much for your first revolver. You should give this to me, and I'll give you something more appropriate for a first gun. I'll give you something like a Ruger or something.
Isn't that, what is that, a $3,000 revolver?
Yeah, it's more than that.
So then every other thing you buy is going to be like a $500 gun. So you know what I mean? Like that seems like such an interesting way to do it. I don't know if I'd do it that way.
You set yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like no revolver is ever going to be like that one. I would go up instead of going down. Even if you know what I mean, you obviously have the means to do it. So just go buy like 4 revolvers first. or at the same time, even just to at least understand. Because I don't know. I'm assuming it's an adult, right? But I don't know how much
it's like the very first time.
Wow,
this is
let down.
Yeah, this is kind of like the very first time you ever have sex. You have sex with the most beautiful person in the world who's also the best at sex.
Yeah, like some kind of sex like expert. Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, oh, that you call that sex? Like that would be horrible after that.
Yeah, it'd be horrible after that. Everything else, but let's not say sex expert because Dr. Ruth was a sex expert.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so
I was trying not to say prostitute, but I was trying to say.
Well, maybe like the world's best prostitute, like like the winner of the world's most quality prostitute. Do they give that award? Because if they don't, they should. I think they obviously should do that. Let's see if we got any other questions coming in here. I guess it's because Never Enough Ammo's not here. Nobody's asking any questions. I don't got anything coming in.
I think he knows everything. So I seen a question in there. I don't know where it was, but it said something to the effect of, what do you think of a law that says about a kid having a gun or not?
You mean like a child?
Yeah, I'm looking. It was quite a while ago. It was when we first started chatting. So
well, I mean, I think children should be able to shoot guns when they're with their parents. Like you should be able to go to the range. And
from 723, is gun control to not allow kids to buy guns okay? I didn't see anybody else mention it in the comments, so it's probably talking about some other video you did.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that's not gun control. That's not. You don't need a law to say, children don't buy guns. I don't even really think that's the thing. You just, you have a legal age to buy a pistol. That's not gun control. That doesn't disenfranchise anybody.
And even if you said not to allow kids to have guns, then I would say no. Then that would be bad law. That would be unnecessary because you don't have a separate law for a kid not to have a knife and not to have a soldering gun and not to have a blowtorch and not to have every other dangerous thing in the world.
Yeah, it's your parents prevent that. And also, I don't like it when they say, well, because laws like we have now, like, oh, like a 12-year-old can't handle a handgun, that kind of shit. Like when you go to a gun store and they're like, well, your son's only 18. I can't let him hold the revolver. That's such stupid bullshit. When I took my 6-year-old to the range and let him learn how to shoot, I got so much negative feedback from people. When I gave him a rifle when he turned 8 years old, I've got a video of him getting a rifle for his 8th birthday, and I've never had a video have such vitriol in the comments before. Like, oh, another mass shooter, he's gonna be shooting up a school, all that stuff because he got a .22 rifle on his 8th birthday. So yeah, I don't like that whole mindset where people are like, kids can never touch guns. Well, that's bullshit. I touched guns all the time when I was a kid. My family took us shooting when I was a kid. We went outside and planked. Hell, we were allowed to go off on our own with like 22s at like 8, 9, 10 years old. We'd go out in the backyard and back property and go shoot cans out in the woods and stuff. And with like our little Marlin, all the time when I was a kid. So I don't like laws against kids touching guns. Parents should be supervising them when they are, of course. But yeah, I'm a firm believer that kids, when they're with their parents, should be able to handle firearms. I've even had problem at ranges before where they didn't want to let my kids shoot, because they're like, it's against the law for your kid to be shooting a revolver or a pistol. So yeah, I don't like that kind of shit.
Yeah, I've only seen it where people are enthusiastic, I think is the right word. Like people more than give a shit if there's a little kid at the range. They're like happy to see it. They understand that that's the next generation of shooters, or at least that's some kid who's not playing video games nowadays. But back in the day, it was just some kid that wasn't doing something else with their time. And most of the time, if that little kid showed any interest in any of the guns on the line, like people are like, hey, shoot this gun, shoot this gun, shoot this gun.
Come over here. Let's take a shot with it. See how you like it. Got an email here from KCC, right? This is Sammy. He wants you to know that he is in charge. He looks like he's in charge. He looks like he weighs about 20 pounds and he thinks he's in charge of everything.
I feel like that dog's seen a lot of stuff, though. So I feel like he's probably a pretty good supervisor.
Yeah, he's a good middle management guy. Let's see here. Why did I send $10 to Cedar Lake? That must be for like my Canva program I use to do my stuff.
So whenever anybody comes up with that concept of like a law is necessary or some sort of extra stuff is necessary for the whatever because of the schools, then I say it's an opportunity to challenge the media's influence and the media's culpability in that at this point. I don't think we're dealing with, back in the old days when we first started chatting, there was only a couple of instances and it was like, well, can we blame the media? Like, I don't know, can we? Well, God, fuck yeah, we can blame the media at this point.
Oh, yeah. The media is definitely complicit. All right.
Somebody was asking about something about, I was in a chat. They were talking about, this was a chat of people who are just newer to guns than us, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. So they're adults and everything, but they're newer to guns than us. So they either experience their first or they're experiencing their first situations where someone, how are you supposed to say it? Like ended their life at a range, right? Like with the S word. And yeah, that's what you're supposed to say. So, and that's something that unfortunately has been a thing for a long time, especially, it's just been a thing. See, I'm sure people rent cars and drive them off cliffs. Like, it's just something that happens. But anyway, they were talking about that, and I forgot where I was going with that. That I just thought it was interesting, I guess, that people are dealing with this. It's something that has been around for a long, long time. I don't know.
Well, people seem to think nowadays things that happen, for one, how often it happens is amplified greatly. And then they think it's new simply because it's new to them. I never heard about this growing up. And I'm like, well, yeah, because your local newspaper didn't cover everything that happened.
That's where I was going to go. Is that, this has been happening forever. But guess what? No newspapers cover this because of why? Copycatters. They don't want people to realize this is a thing to do, and they don't want to encourage it. But if it happens with what, then they will definitely fucking talk about it over and over and over again because they want to be part of the frenzy that maybe makes a new law or, maybe has some.
And it's the same people that are lobbying for the laws that decide what the media covers because they own the station.
Well, and do you think that's going to be discovered, or do you think that there's a possibility that that's going to be, I don't know what's the word. Like, I know it's not discovered because like Matt and Honda have been chatting about that stuff for years now, but do you think that has a possibility with the Trump presidency to, I don't know, gain any more like awareness?
I don't know. I think it'll be less awareness. I think people are getting dumber and dumber about what's going on. It's like people love to yell deep state, deep state, deep state, and they act like it's government employees controlling everything, or it's like, some hourly employee somewhere that's in part of the cabal. It's not. It's the billionaires that are the deep state. They're the ones that control the politicians. They control everything that happens. They bribe the Supreme Court judges. That's the deep state, the billionaires. And they used to just be content with owning the mainstream media and pretending they didn't. That was good because that's what people pay attention to. Then people stopped paying attention to mainstream media. So they had to take over social media. So you've got like 3 billionaires that control most of what happens on social media now, to where the social media outlets are basically political propaganda. They're basically state media. And they can't hide that as much, who owns what, because, they can't really create 10 different dummy companies that own, part of this company, and that part of the company. And, it doesn't look like, it's Scheinhart Wigs. And that's really it's a billionaire that owns NBC, but you're seeing that more and more, and the more they take over now that they have traditional media and social media. That's why I don't like these single owned, controlled platforms where the owners of the platforms get to decide what's seen, what isn't seen, etc. And that's why we supposedly passed laws to protect, like the shareholders of YouTube aren't responsible if something appears on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't edit, doesn't create content, doesn't do any of that stuff. Now that's all they do. That's all X does. People are like, oh, Elon Musk is all free speech. No, Elon Musk edits more than anybody else. Bill Burr was even talking the other day how his account got deleted because he made a joke about Elon Musk. So it's just that the same billionaires that were controlling the government and controlling the media now control social media. So I don't know where you're going to talk about it. Where are you going to discover these things? Where are you going to talk about these things? Social media was where people were first starting to get an idea of what was actually going on. Like 6 corporations own everything. And when you think you're going to competitors, or you're like, well, why doesn't competitors do something else and, become the number one product? Because they're all owned by the same people and they don't want to compete against themselves. And the only place people were starting to figure that out was social media. And the billionaires very quickly took control of social media. So now, where are you going to find out about things like this? Where's it going to be promoted? It isn't going to be.
That's interesting. As you said that, kind of went in a couple of different directions there. It made me think that maybe the next evolution of a social media platform will be something that's more, well, transparent for sure, but not owned by an individual, but owned by, maybe some open source thing or some kind of thing like that.
That would be better. It would be better than what we got right now, because where are you going to go where they aren't going to censor your opinion? And it's like, well, they can't be censored because they're letting us, see these conspiracy theories. They feed you the conspiracy theories they want you to think about, and distract you from the things that's obvious.
At the times when it's important to distract you from whatever something else going on.
Yeah. And it's simple. The simplest answer is almost always the correct one. And the simple answer is the people with all the money in this country are making all the decisions, and the people have been taken out of it. And that's very simple. It's easy to see why it's happening. It's easy to see how it happens. It's very explainable. It's very obvious. But there's so many people who want to ignore that. They want to pretend like the deep state is a bunch of guys that worked for the post office were really making all the decisions. That's just not a viable idea. It doesn't make any sense, but people fall for it. And then there's people. I saw something on X today when I went over to post the link to my chat. And it was Elon Musk, one of the accounts. It was Elon Musk reposting something someone had said, where a senator had said something like, are you comfortable with Elon Musk, a billionaire businessman who works in finance and all this other stuff, doing online financing, company apps and stuff like that? Are you okay with him having all your private information? And this person went, yes, was their response, and showed the clip, was quoting and I'm like, why? Why would you ever be okay with that? Just because he's the one you currently have been told is on your side, you're okay with him having access to all your private information, even though you never even elected him. He's not sworn to any oath or confirmed by any body or anything like that. He's just a billionaire using his money to do what he wants to do. And you're okay with him accessing government secrets, your private information, etc., knowing he owes tens of billions of dollars to Russia, tens of billions of dollars to Saudi Arabia. You don't think that's leverage they could use? So I don't see why people are okay with this stuff. And it's because they've been indoctrinated recently by social media that they thought used to tell them the truth. That's where you could go to get the truth. Now it just tells them what it wants them to think.
It's called Truth Social. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a shame. It's people don't bother to verify anything. People don't bother to think about anything. People are just ridiculously stupid, and it bothers me that that's where we're getting to. We're getting to a dumbed down society where everybody's a manual worker, and that's all they're capable of doing. They don't think for themselves. They're just grateful to have a paycheck and be able to watch the ball game on Sunday, and they don't think about anything else. They don't even have the ability to aspire to anything else. Look at the number of new wealthy families in this country in the last 100 years. Really doesn't happen. And new wealth doesn't really get created. It's old rich people getting richer, nepo babies getting richer. Even Elon Musk is one of those, a nepo baby getting richer because he bought into the things he should buy into and invested wisely the money he already had. So the American dream is dying, and people don't seem to care, and that bothers me. They don't even bother to do their own homework. So it irritates the living fuck out of me that people don't double check everything they believe. They just repeat stuff. Even in here, people will come in and repeat stuff like, oh, Elon Musk just saved us $350 million by doing this. I was like, really, where did you see any proof of that? Because, if you research it, you don't see it. They don't back it up with anything. They don't show you any real stuff. They don't show that, oh, yeah, we went to a court and it was determined that this was a fraudulent. They say things that, like Elon Musk said, oh, we were giving Social Security payments to people that were 150 years old No, we weren't, because you don't understand how the COBOL system works. Whenever there's an error in the error in an entry system, it defaults their age to 1875, which would make them 150 years old. That person might just be 70 years old, but that's a sign in the actual system that you need to go back and recheck the entry. But he didn't know. Either he didn't know that, which shows he shouldn't be fucking around in the system, or he knows that, but he knows you don't know that. So he's lying because he knows you won't know the truth. So it's just maddening, all of it. People don't ask for any accountability. People don't ask for any proof. As long as something supports their mindset, they swallow it hook, line, and sinker. It's just like there's people in this country think Trump's a good Christian. I mean, does anyone really, of any thinking person, actually believe Trump is a born again good Christian? He's been on record multiple times saying in interviews, in print interviews, recorded interviews, if I ever ran for office, I'd run as a Republican because religious people are stupid and so easy to manipulate. You know, he said that with his own mouth, yet they're like, oh, that's old Trump. New Trump's a born again Christian. That's how ridiculously stupid America's gotten, and it's sad. And I've got on a soapbox there. Let's see here. Did we get any more questions coming in? Let's see. Nope, nothing coming in today. Nobody conversing out there. I'm really late. Did you get your mail today? Yes, I showed everyone. I'm giving one away tonight, although there ain't nobody commenting. So hopefully someone will comment so we can give these away. Let's see here.
Those are standard size, or are they for a specific thing?
They're the standard size. They work on, just pretty much what you'll find around. If I had it, well, I know I can't. I was going to pick up a gun and see if it fit on it, but I'm not going to do that, because that will get me in trouble. Where is one off the camera here? Let's see if it fits on this. Taking forever to twist it off. Well, this is longer than normal, so it's probably not going to go all the way on it. But yep, it fits on my rifles over here. Well, I dropped that one. I'll find it. It's just on the ground behind my desk. All right, let's get back over here. I'll have to find that in a minute so I can give it away. All right, let's get back over here, see if there's anybody saying anything. 92 FS or 1911? I always prefer a Beretta 92. Coming up with the monies. Oh, that's, I already read that. SIG 365, okay for home defense. Well, yeah, it's a gun, ain't it? It'll work. You don't got a lot of rounds, but how many times you plan on getting into a running gunfight in your own home with somebody? I bet it probably won't happen that much. You said you recommend leather holsters, and so we have ordered a few from Amazon for $20 each. There you can find some decent cheap holsters on Amazon. Now there's some that are just garbage. I always recommend either a Zula or 1791 if you're buying leather holsters off Amazon. From today's video, oh, okay, that's the thing you were asking earlier about, is it okay to have gun control that says kids can't buy guns? Well, right. Yeah, that's just a general, you can't, you're not an adult till you're 18. So
yeah, there's already, like, you're responsible for doing bad things. Doesn't matter what's in your hand.
Yeah. Should shoplifters convicted of misdemeanors be allowed to buy guns with all this shoplifting going on, or they could use their guns on stores and cops? Well, if they haven't used their gun on stores and cops, then yes, they should be allowed to buy guns. You don't start punishing people for future potential crimes. That's not how it is. It's not like, you're someone who might do something like this, so we're going to preemptively punish you.
Yeah, just kill every shoplifter if you think that they're on a they can't alter from a path of evil. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You got to give people an opportunity to be better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't have rehabilitation in your system, why have a system? Where am I at? I got to pan back down. Wait, am I already to the bottom already? Can I buy merch for someone else and have it shipped to them? Well, yes, of course you can. As long as your name and now when you do your billing, you'll have to put in your billing address for your debit card or whatever. But yeah, you can have it shipped to other people. Of course, sometimes that gets flagged as potential fraud, but if it doesn't match your credit card address. I agree with you too, is just about proper training in young age. Well, I mean, no, I'm not going to say, I'm just going to let a 5-year-old run around with a handgun because, I've trained them properly. That's part of being a parent, that's not something you do. And if you do that, yeah, you should go to jail if they shoot somebody or shoot themselves. Mom says I shouldn't have kids because I'm rude and disrespectful. Well, then don't have kids, I guess. I don't know. Washington state law pursuant to RCW 4661055, vehicle operators facing a steady circular red signal may, after stopping, proceed to make a right turn. Well, that's right on red. That's not stopping for every right-hand turn. That's not the same thing as if you're driving down the road and you're that's a 2-lane going both the same direction and you're in the right lane and you decide, I'm going to turn into Rite Aid or I'm going to turn on 5th Street and there's no light, no stop sign, and you come to a complete stop before you turn into the parking lot. That's not necessary.
Yeah, if there's a lane for it, if it's fast enough, there'll be a lane. If it's not fast enough, then, or if it's not that fast, then pull over at speed.
Yeah. Where were we at? I think that's Q said Cash Patel is a name to remember in 2028. I don't give 2 shits what Q says. Q is like Sesame Street for morons.
Is that even a thing? Like it's one entity, or is that just like...
It's a thing and people believe it. Even though it's wrong always, they still believe it. When it's blatantly and clearly wrong, which it almost always is, everything's right every now and then. Even a homeless guy.
I mean, like there's Santa Claus or something. Like I thought it was something like that, where it's just like Antifa. It's not like there's the Antifa headquarters and there's like the boss of Antifa, right? It's just if you say you're Antifa, right? Like I thought it was like.
Yeah, but no, there is a queue. There is an organization that puts out information. It's organized and people believe it. And when it's wrong, they just go, well, they were thinking in they were meaning something else. It was code, so that's how stupid some people are. There's people that, those people are even dumber than the people that hear Rachel Maddow say something and don't check, the source. Donald never even drove a car or put gas. He's not one of us. Well, no, he's not a common person. That's for sure. Hey, Yankee, you're looking good tonight. Can we see photos when you were younger? No, you pervert. Did you make lasagna? Love from America. No, I did not make lasagna. I still need to, but I haven't done it. I mean, I've made it before, but not recently. Want to thank you for everything you do for us and pets. You're welcome. What are your thoughts? I like that they added for the pets on there instead of just everything you do. What are your thoughts on the P220 double action, single action Legion in 10 millimeter? Also, any experience with the SIG P322 22 long rifle? Now, I have no experience with the 22, but I think he means the P220 Legion. Do they make the 220 in Legion now? I didn't know they made a Legion, but they're awesome. They're awesome guns. I have a couple of P220s. I can't imagine the Legion's any worse than they are. I've had idiots in left lane making a right-hand turn in front of me. Same with idiot in right lane making a left turn. Oh, I've had that happen all the time. People are in the wrong lane. Like you're in the left lane so that you can turn left at the intersection. They're in the right lane, which would just go straight. But they decide at the last minute, oh, I'm going to turn left. And they cut right in front of you. I've had that happen mostly on motorcycles. People love to do that on motorcycle when you're on a motorcycle. Have you ever sung the Alka-Seltzer song? Oh, what a relief it is. No, and never will. I've never really used Alka-Seltzer. My grandfather used to use it every night, but I've never.
I think I one time had 2 tablets and I put them in water, but otherwise I've never even been near it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't drink it or nothing. No. Yeah. Maybe no, I might have when I was a little kid. My grandma might have gave me it, and that's why I've never drank it.
Yeah, it seems to me like it'd be really gross.
Yeah, it was gross.
So I've never ever tried. I have a hard time taking antacids, because they're chalky and have that odd taste to them. I don't even like chewing those up. So I'm just not big on like Alka-Seltzer or antacids or anything like that. Although I do hate to be sick to my stomach. I would rather be in pain than I would be sick to my stomach. I don't handle nausea very well because I don't like to throw up. So I fight it forever and I just stay sick forever because I don't want to throw up. I'll be laying in bed like, I'm so sick. If I move, I'm going to vomit. Well, they're like, go move and vomit. You'll feel better. I'm like, no, because vomiting is like dying. I feel like I'm dying when I'm vomiting. So it's like at any minute, things might go black. So I don't like it. Q is John DeLance from Star Trek of the Next Generation. Well, that's one Q. Yes. I would believe what that Q said long before what the one on the internet says. Excuse me. Seafoam and other maintenance tips for trucks. Seafoam.
That's that can of stuff you pour into the oil, I think, and it burns out. It's some kind of a solvent that you pour in.
I don't put additives in my oil. Oil works fine.
This isn't so much an additive as like a like if you put a detergent through your engine, it's like that. It's like it's a thing you do once. I don't think you do it like often.
You mean like an engine cleaner? It's like
like a cleaner. Yeah, exactly. Like you buy an old used car and you put a bottle of Seafoam in it, it works better. Yeah.
The only problem with those flushes is, in my experience, buying used cars when I was younger and poorer, half the time you flush things and you wipe away all the corrosion that was actually keeping it from leaking.
Yeah, that's what everybody told me when I got that old van. I was like, should I get to put a can of Seafoam through it? And everybody's like, yeah, you're just going to blow through everything holding it together.
Yeah, exactly. It's when things start falling apart because it was being held together by years of sediment, and you wiped it away. Vomit is like diarrhea, but from your mouth. That's worse than that even. Diarrhea doesn't bother me nearly as bad as vomiting. When I live here, there used to be a lot of feral hens. Then the price of eggs increased. Now all I see are feral roosters walking around. Probably wondering where all the hens went. Hey, where are all the women at? That looks like that is it for the questions. Let me see. Did we get anything coming in over here? I don't think we even got really any questions tonight. Well, John Bush chimed in with his $2 tithe to Phil and said, will a 686 holster fit a 686 plus? Yes. If the barrel length is the same, yes. Often, even if barrel lengths are different, they'll still fit in it. We haven't done the drawings. Let me do the drawings real quick here, announce the winners, and then we will be done.
While you're doing that up or whatever, somebody had asked earlier if I'd seen whatever the new law in Massachusetts. If something happened like just recently, then no, I missed it. But I'm going to use that as an opportunity to because Yankee is the only person that'll listen to me when I bitch about this shit. Well, I bitch about it in front of Tony, and he nods and appreciates it, but he can't do nothing about it. He lives behind enemy lines. I guess Yankee does too, for some extent. But we have, we're living in 2025 now. So it was 2013 that Obama decided to do his 23 executive actions, and that was the first thing that happened since the assault weapons ban ended. Like the assault weapons ban ended in 1994, and then everybody got taken out of office, and then it wasn't until 2004 that it sunsetted, and nobody even talked about it. It just sunsetted and went away, and everybody started buying guns, and it wasn't until 2013. We had like 9 years of nobody fucking with us, and then Obama started doing shit, and now we have all this crap that we've been dealing with all kinds of laws. Now we've been having good stuff too. We have constitutional carry in 29 states. We have concealed carry in every single state. But, in that time, NRA, right, came and went, let's say, did its thing and then crapped out with a bunch of bad people running it. Then you have GOA doing its thing. You have Second Amendment Foundation doing its thing. well, how the fuck in 2025 do we still have Massachusetts getting just fucking wailed on? Colorado is fucking makes no sense at all getting wailed on. Oregon almost got its knees taken out from under it. Like Washington is got no reason to be getting wailed on. You got Second Amendment Foundation lives there.
Well, they have to have the sacrifices to make you still keep paying them.
You know, I'm just saying. I think that we're due an evolution in our community, and I don't think it's those organizations going to do it. And I don't think they are going to do it. They're more interested in emulating what they've already done than in changing the narrative. The narrative changes when people leave guns alone, when they don't fear guns, and when guns aren't the punching bag, and none of them are working towards that. So I'd really like to see. Somebody's asking me, you know, this all started with, have I seen the new laws in Massachusetts? There's two things that are going on in Massachusetts. They're fucking bipartisan Safer Communities fucking bullshit act that they passed with both Republicans and Democrats, put aside trillions of fucking dollars so that the states would compete against each other to make the worst red flag laws, and whoever makes the worst red flag laws every year gets a cut of the trillions of dollars. And that trillions of dollars, once it goes to the states, where's it going? It's going to go to the organizations that it decides, you know, earned it. And that's going to be Bloomberg. So that's a massive playoff to Bloomberg. I think this whole thing was somebody would just sit down and do the numbers. Somebody on our side who can do some math would just sit down and do the numbers. Bloomberg spent some amount of money over the last 10 to 15 years. And now he's getting a shit ton of it paid back with all these organizations collecting, you know, they just have their hands out collecting money. So I think Massachusetts is competing for that Safer Communities Act money. And that's one of the reasons they're doing this shit. They want to kind of backlash against the New York State Rifle Association, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, you know, minus or versus Bruin the loser. They want to lash back against that court decision. But I think another piece of this is that they just know that guns are a whipping thing. You know, they know that nobody's going to successfully enunciate a challenge to their bullshit that they keep bringing out. And I think that can end with, especially with social media. We've got so many people out there that are new gun owners that are at least aware of what's going on or aware of politics and are able to make rational rational points about this. And we can get this off the table. But anyway, I think that I'm just ranting here because somebody's asking me about how Massachusetts laws are. I think the Massachusetts laws suck, and the only reason we have them is because the national level organizations need, or they have not evolved. They're still doing exactly what everyone raged against the NRA for doing. I mean, tell me I'm wrong, but you guys say this all the fucking time.
Oh yeah. All right, I got the winners here. And I don't know if this is an actual last name.
It's my fake.
It might be. They're both weird last names, actually. So for the silver bullet, the winner is Mikey. And I don't want to say it the way it looks because it looks like its last name is Cuck. It's Khuc. That sounds like that to be pronounced Cuck. If that's their actual last name. And for the gift certificate, the winner is Ben Chauhan. 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 That's a weird name. And you can thank Paul Beidenbach for the fact that you got to win this month because we weren't going to do it this month until he came through for us. So those are the winner, Mikey Cuck and Ben Chauhan. Very normal first names, but those last names are something. All right. What'd you
say? Is that how I say it? Is that what they're saying? It's pronounced Cooch.
No, I actually know a Cooch. And I know that I have a cousin named Coont. It's spelled cunt, but it's pronounced Coont. It's spelled with like cunt with a K. But yeah, I've never seen Khuc. And somehow they got the little dotty things above it. I don't know what that means. but it's got the little dotty things above the U. How do you even type that stuff?
That's fake. They put it in with a pen later.
What, on the internet?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Probably not a pen then.
Yeah, probably not. It's like I can never figure out.
It's in witchcraft. It's some kind of witchcraft typery.
It must be. It's like the accent on an E, like when you're spelling touche, and you want to put the accent on the E. I can never figure out how to put the accent on the E.
So there's a bunch of special characters that you can do.
I guess you have to learn them. I don't. They're not on the keyboard anywhere. So, all right, everybody, that's it for tonight. I want to say thanks to everybody who showed up, everybody who participated in the conversation. I appreciate it.
Everybody who listens to Matt should act like we did something really amazing that he missed out on.
Yeah, he missed out on this wasn't the worst chat I've had in a very long time. Don't tell him that. Tell him it was like the best one we've had in a long time. Thanks everybody for coming. Hey, look, someone typed it with the little dots above the U. Welper typed it. If Welper can do it, anybody can do it.
Witchery.
Yeah, it's weird. Is that an actual last name though? Look at that. Does that look like a last name to you?
No, that's how you spell Motley Crue. It's fake.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, they got a silver bullet coming to them, hopefully. But thanks everybody, like I said, for coming. Thanks to everybody who participated. The few of you that did, I appreciate it. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe till I see you again.